Hey, what's up? It's Breyonna. So you're probably sitting there like, girl, where's your eyebrows at? And the reason I don't have brows on is because we are going to be doing a full face of e.l.f. cosmetics today. I mean, brows, complexion, eyes, like you name it, it's gonna be from e.l.f. I think the only thing I have that isn't e.l.f. is eyelashes and eyelash glue. Otherwise, the rest is gonna be from them. Now, I asked you guys here on YouTube what brand you would like to see a full face on, and so many of you guys wanted to see e.l.f., so that is what we're gonna be doing today. But before we jump into it, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and also give this video a like. And if you'd like to check me out over on Instagram or TikTok, it's at Breyonna as well. We're gonna just jump right into it because I need some brows on. So what I'm going to be going in with is this e.l.f. brow lift. I actually really enjoy this, and I also really enjoy the applicator. It's kind of like a spoolie, and then on the other end it is a metal little spatula that's a little bit on the thin side. But what I'm going to do is just take the spoolie, lightly dip it into the product. If you have used the Anastasia Brow Freeze, it's a little bit more wet with the formula than this one. It doesn't give as good of a hold. Like if you need a lot of hold, I would just go with the Anastasia. But if you're wanting to try it out and you're not sure if you would like it, this is a great alternative. It's about as close as I've ever gotten to it. But what I'm going to do is just take a little bit and then comb my brows up and out. Again, I really like this product. I think it's really nice. But I'm somebody that doesn't need a lot of hold with my brows because, as you can see, I don't have a lot going on. But then after I comb through it, I just take the metal side and I push it down and up, just to kind of like lay those hairs flat. And if you hear any meowing, Winnie is upset because she wants to hang out. And once that has marinated in the brows for a minute, I like it to sit, you know, just to kind of like set in place. I go in with the Ultra Precise Brow Pencil, which if you have not tried out this pencil, it is so freaking good. I've gone through probably like 10 of these. The shade I wear is neutral brown, but I just like to fill in my brows. So I do like a line underneath to define them. Again, normally I go in with a brow pencil or brow pen, and e.l.f. doesn't have one. e.l.f., please make a brow pen. Like, oh, I know it would be really good too. I like to do like a little line, and then I just fill up above that line after. So I put my pencil on the line that we created, and then go up. But seriously, like this pencil is nicer than a lot of high-end ones I've tried. And like they have really nice shades, and the shades that they have aren't like orangey either, and they're not like, I've tried the taupe one, and it's not like that greenish taupe, if you know what I mean. Like, it's an actual taupe. So I kind of want to do things a little bit different today. So for eyeshadow primer, we're actually going to go in with this No Budge eyeshadow stick from the Cookies and Dreams collection. And this one's in the shade Chill Zone. It's kind of like this periwinkle, kind of like baby blue shade. I really like these. Like, they are so nice. I have, I think, like 7 or 8 of them, and every one I have tried has been amazing, and they last literally all day. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this all over my lid, and ooh, like that pigment, so nice. But I'm going to apply it all over the mobile lid into the crease and then slightly above. Keep in mind we're going to blend out the edge, so you want to do like the less is more approach, so go a little bit lower than you think you need to, because you can always apply more, but it's kind of hard to take away. So this is one of those products, once it dries down, it does not budge. So I'm going to go in with this like little flat brush I have. And I'm just going to like tap at it, kind of like smooth it, and then tap out the edges as well. And also for the edge, I'm going to go in with this like pinched blending brush I have from e.l.f. I don't know what it's called, but it has like a clear handle to it. And I'm just going to run it around the edge. Again, I'm just trying to like blend it into the skin a little bit better. So now that this is marinated on my eye for a little bit, now we're going to go in with eyeshadow, and I'm going to go in with the Cookies and Dreams collection eyeshadow palette. And you probably guessed it, I'm going to go in with this matte, kind of like periwinkle baby blue shade. Now these shades don't have names to them, but I'm just going to be going in with that brush, that fluffy one that we just used. And I'm going to be packing it all on top of this eyeshadow base. Like literally everywhere. I'm going to go in with a little bit more on my brush. Pack it down. This will really make it so it is budge proof. Like this is not gonna slip at all. And then for the edges, I'm just kind of doing these little like circular motions. It's a really fun color though. Again, it's kind of like a blue, but it just has like this little hint of purple to it that makes it a little bit more interesting. Don't get me wrong, like I like a good baby blue, but this kind of blue is just one that you don't really see all that much. Now this is really pretty on its own, but I'm gonna go in with this blue shimmer shade right next to it, and I mean, just like look how cool that is. So what I'm going to do is look dead into my mirror, like straight on, and to pop it right in the center. Just for like a little bit of sheen. You know, just to kind of like make the eyes a little bit more poppin'. Again, like it's cool all matte, but I like a little shine. And since I do have slightly hooded eyes, I am kind of like bringing it up slightly into my crease, just a little bit, with whatever's left on my finger. Just here in the center. Oh yeah, that is so pretty. Like it just adds like this like little hint of like wet sheen. I don't know, I just think it kind of gives it the little extra pop I was looking for. Now, I've never tried out this liquid liner, but I see it recommended so much on TikTok. This is the Expert liquid liner. I have shade Charcoal. Now, I don't know if that's like black or if it's gonna be kind of like a grayish black. Not 100% sure, but every time I see somebody ask like, what's your favorite liquid liner? I see like the comments flooded with this one. So I'm just warning you, I have really high expectations for this one because I just see everybody recommend it. Now right off the bat, it is one of those ones that you have to dip into, and it does have a brush tip. I think this one is like an actual charcoal. It doesn't look black, but... Wait, it's applying black though. Ooh, that is going on like super smooth. Now I am gonna do a wing with it. You know, this is actually a lot easier to use than I was expecting. Like the brush isn't like super fine, but it's like one of those ones, it's cut at an angle. So it's kind of like long and like pinched. So you can really get that like crisp line if you use it in the right direction. You know, I actually kind of like this liner. The only thing is it kind of looks a little thick on the eye. But again, it's not bad. It's just, I can't tell if it's gonna flake or not, because it's just like that thick, kind of like cakey kind of look to it. I don't know if you can see it or not on the camera. And also, it doesn't dry completely matte. It does have like a little bit of sheen to it. It's not like super shiny though. But now we're gonna go in with mascara, and I have this one. I believe it's their newest one. It's called Lash It Loud, and it's a volumizing mascara. I have shade Black. Now, I do really enjoy the Big Moon mascara. Like this one is so good. Like if you like a really like clumpy, like thick kind of lash, this mascara is amazing. I can't remember what kind of brush that this one has. Ooh. This one kind of has like that silicone, like plasticky kind of bristle. I wonder if it's gonna hug the lashes or what it's gonna do. Yeah, that like is like grabbing onto them. It like is hugging the lash between the bristles. Dang, that's making my lashes look really nice. I don't know if you can see it or not if I tilt my head up, because again, like my lashes, like they are non-existent. But so far I'm really liking it, and it's kind of like a buildable formula too. I'll show you what it looks like next to the Big Mood wand, but it's bigger, but it's not as big as Big Mood, if you can see what I mean. And then the tight line, I'm just going in with the No Budge eyeliner, and this one's in shade Black. It's like one of those like retractable kind of pencils. I use this one almost every single day, and I really enjoy it. Because again, it stays up above, and it doesn't even go out on like a white pencil. Like once it's dried down, it is completely budge proof. Honestly, I really like how this eye turned out. Like it's like one of those things, like it looks a little bit more complex than it really is. And that's something I really like doing lately. Like sometimes I just want like a quick, simple eye look that looks like I put more effort into it than I did. And I feel like this is like one of those kinds as well. And also with it having that No Budge eyeshadow stick underneath, like it is not moving at all. Like there's literally no creasing, and it's just like super pigmented looking. But now we're gonna do the face, and the first thing I'm gonna go in with is the brand new Power Grip Primer. Now I have used this and I did review it over on TikTok. And okay, so I've tried out the Mint Melt Primer as well as the Jelly Pop one, and this is a less thick version of that. Like if you thought that the Jelly Pop was just too thick and too sticky on the skin, you'll probably actually really enjoy this one. It's more similar to the Hydro Grip, too. Like, I feel like with this one, like, they literally nailed it as a dupe. Like, I don't really see that much of a difference between the two. Keep in mind, I use Hydro Grip a lot. The only thing with this one is I have noticed if I use it too many days in a row, it does break me out. Like, I can't use it, like, every single day. And that's the kind of problem I had with the Jelly Pop Primer. Like, you can see it. Like, it's a little tacky, but it's not, like, that thick tacky like Jelly Pop is. So for foundation today, we're gonna go in with the Camo CC Cream. I actually really like the coverage of this one. I wear shade Fair 120N, and honestly, like this is a very good match for me. But like less is more is definitely the approach with this one. And for the sponge, I'm going to be going in with this one from e.l.f. It's the silicone one that they have. Like this right here, this darker part, is silicone, like they dip it in, and then the rest of this sponge is a normal sponge. But I recently tested this out over on TikTok, and oh my gosh, like I have loved it. So I'm going to take the silicone side and dip it into the foundation and hopefully not get it on my pants, but kind of like that. And I just like to do like a little bit like this and then buff it in first with the silicone side to get more bang for my buck out of the product. Now, I'll be honest, like I like this foundation, but it's one of those ones that is a little bit more tricky for me. Like, I feel like if I apply too much of it, that's when it starts having a tendency to crease. So you have to find like the sweet spot for the amount of product that you can use. Like, out of all my foundations, this is probably one of the ones that creases the most on me. But it's probably my fault because I'm applying too much of it. And then afterwards, I'm going in with a little bit more, kind of like layering it up. Like around my nose and around my brows. If you know me, you know how much I love the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer in the shade Feelin' Shady. Like, if you like the matchstick from Fenty in the shade Amber, this is literally identical with the shade. Like, there's absolutely no difference. It's just a more creamy version than this. And also, this is like a fraction of the price. Like, don't get me wrong, like the Fenty one, it's nice, but I like the creaminess of this one a little bit more. So I'm just going to contour my face with it. So I'm just going to go into my cheekbones. And also, like, this blends out really nice. If you've tried out the putty blushes, this formula is identical. And also, if you have tried out the brow lift that I used earlier, they're in the exact same packaging. See what I mean? Like, this is the brow lift, and then here is the putty bronzer. So if you have seen one, or if you're like curious on the size, it's the same. And also like the putty blush is the same size as this as well. And also if you want to get into like bronzing and contouring and you don't know where to start with a product, I think this one's a really nice foolproof one, just because it's so creamy that it doesn't like dry down funny. It's very easy to blend out. You can even see like it's super creamy in the pan itself, like you can kind of see. And it warms up really easy with your hands too. But I'm just going to take the edge of the sponge, and then I'm buffing this up and out towards my temple. But you can see, like, it literally takes no effort to blend this. And then for concealer, I'm just going to go in with the Hydrating Camo Concealer, and I wear shade Fair Rose. Again, this is like holy grail status for me. Like, I don't know if I could live without this concealer. Like, it is like my ride or die. Again, I've gone through, I think, 2, if not 3 of these. But I don't like to use a lot of concealer personally. I think less is more. Just works a lot better for me. So I like to just do like 2 dots here and let it marinate for a couple of minutes. Maybe like a minute itself. It just kind of depends on the foundation that I'm wearing. So the reason I like my concealer to sit is I feel like I get more coverage with it. Now you have to kind of like play with that as you will. Like you have to find the sweet spot for each concealer, because not every concealer can sit the same amount of time as another one. But for me, like a minute, minute and a half with this one is like the perfect amount. But you can see like it just blends out so nice. So a couple of days ago, I saw an ad for this Chromatic Multi-Stick, and apparently it's like a cream blush. You can use it on your eyes or your lips. It just kind of depends on what you're going for. But the video that I saw, it looks so good. It was kind of like a dewy blush moment. Ooh, that one's really bright. This one is the shade Dazzling Peony, and I'm applying it right onto my cheekbone. Can't forget the nose. I feel like I applied a little too much, but you know what? More is more. So I'm just going to take another side of the sponge and start tapping it out. Again, I'm kind of like buffing it towards my temple. Ooh. It's definitely like a glowy kind of blush. I will say though, it kind of looks a little streaky. Like I'm not in love with it. Like you can see what I'm talking about. Like it looks splotchy. Could be the foundation, it's just not working with this foundation. I'm not sure, because again, I haven't used it before. And sometimes this foundation is just one of those ones, like not everything works with it. But I don't know, I'm just not in love with it. Now this is one product I am really curious about, and this is the Daily Dew Stick in the shade Iridescent. And apparently it's like a highlighting balm kind of situation. It says you can apply it with your fingers or like the stick itself and buff it out, but I'm going to use my fingers since we already have some stuff down. And this shade is translucent. I'm gonna pop it right on my cheekbone. You know, like I don't think it has much to it. I feel like this is kind of like one of those no makeup kind of product. You know what? We're gonna see. I'm gonna put it on my lip. I guess it has like a little bit of like a frosted look to it. I'm gonna layer it up. Yeah, it kind of has like a wet sheen that it gives the skin. I feel like this would just look a little bit better and work a little bit better with like no makeup. You know, like if you want like that dewy kind of like glass skin and you're not really wearing foundation. I think this product is more for that. So for loose powder, I'm gonna go in with the Halo Glow Setting Powder, which you guys have seen me use a lot, just like the concealer as well as the putty bronzer. Because this powder is really nice and it kind of has like a satin kind of finish to it. Like it's not like completely matte. And also this powder has a lot of shades to it too, which is really nice. Like there's not just like one, but I'm just going to lightly powder the rest of my face with whatever is left on my sponge. But this is like one of those powders, it's not heavy, it doesn't feel cakey, and it just looks really nice and skin-like. Like if you don't like heavy powders and you don't like them looking like super matte, I think this one is totally worth checking out. This is hands down one of the most underrated powders I have ever used. Like I'm actually surprised that more people don't talk about it. I feel like I need just a little bit more color to my face. I don't know, like I feel like it's kind of like a little flat. So I'm gonna go in with this powder contour palette and I'm going to mix this shade and this one to like a 1:1 ratio. And then I'm just gonna pop it again underneath my cheekbone and buff it up. You know, just for like a little something something. Oh yeah, that is exactly what I was needing. Just like a little bit of color, not a whole lot. Like I don't need like a full on like snatched kind of moment. I need a little bit more dimension. Since that multi-stick didn't really do a whole lot for me, like color on my cheeks, like I feel like after bronzing I kind of lost it. I'm gonna go in with the Bite Size face palette, and this one is in Lychee. How do you say it? Do you say Lychee or Lychee? I've heard it both ways, but what I'm going to do is just like mix these two, the highlight and the blush, for like a glowy little blush moment. And then I'm just going to pop it on my cheekbone and then round it around the eye a little bit. Like honestly, these are hands down one of my favorite blush formulas like in my collection. Like I cannot get enough. And I really like mixing the two shades together too. Like I know it's a highlighter, but it just doesn't work for my skin tone. And one day I was like, you know what? F it, I'm gonna mix it and see what happens. And let me tell you, it has become like literally my favorite thing. Because it gives you like this subtle like highlight look without being crazy. It's not like, you know, like popping. It just looks very natural and skin-like. And it does not emphasize texture. Now we're gonna get rid of this crusty lip situation that I have going on. So we're gonna go in with the brand new Love Triangle lip liners. And okay, like I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a little like triangle shape. It reminds me of the Goof Proof Brow Pencil from Benefit, if you've ever used that one before. But I will warn you, now I've used a couple of these, the more like brownish shades, and they're really, really nice. The only thing is that the packaging itself does not match the color that it is, nor does the sticker on the bottom. Like they're very deceiving and they're completely off. So I definitely recommend looking online for swatches if you're interested in them. The shade I'm using is just mauve. Ooh, but again, like these are really pigmented and they last really well. They kind of have a very similar formula to the ColourPop Lippie pencils, the ones that you have to sharpen. Like they're creamy, but they're not like crazy creamy. They like slip around. In the triangle shape, it really makes it easy to use like one of the longer edges and get like a really crisp lip line with. So for gloss, I'm going to go in with one of my favorite glosses in my collection. This is the Lip Plumping Gloss in the shade Peach Bellini. And I know it looks very like whitish in here, but it does not apply this pigmented. But it's a really nice thin formula. It is super comfy and it's not like thick and goopy. It just feels really nice. And with it being a plumping gloss, like it does not irritate my lips and it just looks really beautiful. See, this is one of those glosses, it looks a little bit weird right away because it's like, damn, like that's like really light. But after it like sits on the lips, it is like the most pretty color and it kind of gives you like almost like an ombre lip kind of vibe. But now let's do the lower lash line. And again, I'm just gonna go back in with that No Budge eyeshadow stick, the Chill Zone one. And I'm just gonna run it underneath the eye just a little bit. I'm not going far down with it. I'm just kind of going the thickness of the pencil itself. Kind of where, honestly, I would go with it normally if I were to just use a powder. This time around, though, I'm just going to buff it out using this little blending brush right before it sets in place. And then for the inner corner highlight, I'm just going to go in with this like vanilla shade out of the palette. Now this one is completely matte. There is no shimmer to it. But I kind of want just like a really bright inner corner. And I'm just using, again, like a little pencil brush. I'm just packing it down. I will warn you though, the shade isn't the best. Like, it's just not that pigmented. But I feel like it's gonna fit the vibe. And last but not least, for the waterline, I'm just gonna go in with another one of the No Budge eyeshadow sticks. And this one, again, is from the Cookies and Dream collection, and it is in shade Sweet Cream. Now, if you're looking for a really nice matte white eyeliner, this one is really good. Again, it is a little bit more on the chubby side. So it can be kind of tricky to get the waterline with it, but this baby just does not move. And to set this baby in place, I'm gonna go in with these Stay All Day Blue Light Micro Setting Mist. Now, I'm not too sure like how blue light stuff works with like skincare and makeup, but this just looks really cool, and I like the other one that I have, the coconut one. Ooh, it has like a shaker ball in it, which is kind of cool. Now let's see how the mist is, and ooh, that is fine. Ooh, that feels really good on the skin. It does kind of have like a makeup-y kind of scent to it. Like, it doesn't smell like sweet or anything like that. Is it me, or is this look giving like spring vibes? Like, I don't know, like I really like how it turned out, and it almost has like a 60s mod kind of vibe to it too. I don't know if you feel that way too, but lately I've been really into these really like bright pastel eye looks with like a little bit of something something to them, if you know what I mean. Like, not just like a basic like one color wash, but like a little shimmer in the center or like a pressed glitter. So this is right up my alley. Like, I've been doing so many looks like this over on TikTok lately because I just cannot get enough of them. And also, I feel like I really need to try more of those No Budge eyeshadow sticks, because honestly, like the formula of this one, just, oh my gosh, like the pigment is insane, and it literally is not budging whatsoever. But honestly, like I just had a lot of fun like trying out like a full face of e.l.f. I don't think I've ever done this with a brand before. I might have, but it might have been like really like a long time ago. But if you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know, and also let me know like what brand you would like to see. I know when I asked you guys, a lot of people wanted to see like NYX Cosmetics, and I believe it was Rare Beauty. So if you'd like to see those or any other brand, let me know. And also, let me know what your favorite e.l.f. products are, because honestly, I feel like e.l.f. has a lot of hidden gems that nobody talks about. So if you have any recommendations for me to try out, please let me know, because I do not want to sleep on them. But before you go though, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below, and also give this video a like. And if you'd like to check me out over on Instagram or TikTok, it's at Breyonna as well. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!